Good morning, welcome to Morning Review on Monday the 20th of July. This is Kim Watson speaking for Ezeetrader. So looking at the euro dollar first, and on Friday we saw a further sell-off there. And we've come down to the sort of support area of the prior lows at the moment, which we're seeing a little bit of a bounce coming off of. We may see a bit more bounce come from there. Looking from here, from the bounce perspective, we're already... we've got the upper bands, the sort of 8 moving average upper bands to run through. If we see anything more of a bounce from this, we may get towards the weekly pivot eventually. There's that potential as we go through the early part of the week. Today, short term, we've got the daily pivot above us, the hourly 50. Each of these may provide a bit of a target now. The Greek situation seems to be sort of settled in a way, and it's just the agreeing the absolute detail here. So the banks should be reopening today, and it may be business back in sort of normal, but there's still final detail to be sorted out. But it looks like it's pretty much accepted. So it really depends now, I think, on how the markets treat the euro, and we're seeing a sell-off. We could see a continued sell-off. I would like to see these sort of areas take a hit, the weekly pivot hit, etc. From a statistical point of view, as a possibility. As I say, we're pushing up at the moment quite strong towards the daily pivot there, but that may in itself, just for a short term at least, just become a resistance point as we run into the prior highs there. So I'm watching that carefully. Okay, overall I'm bearish on the euro. The pound, not managing to do anything where it is at the moment. It's maybe hitting a sort of status quo in terms of price levels. It's chopping along here. We had a doji a few days ago. On Friday we had another doji, and we're sort of bouncing around this region here. So it's a period of indecision. It's probably easier on the hourly there to see if we sort of do break down the lows here. We've got the weekly pivot still just below us, and if it starts running down for that, we may see Friday's lows and the S1 here. Any move to the upside, we've got the risk of running into the hourly 50, which is relatively flat but still got a bit of slope and may provide some new resistance. But beyond that, then we're back looking into Friday's numbers. At the moment it's looking a reasonable ask in terms of getting up there, but if it does get a wiggle on, we could be pushing on towards the prior highs there, and maybe this time or sometime this week we could see a break of those levels, but would prefer to see that weekly pivot out of the way first. Okay, looking at the dollar yen. Big picture first, it's just been weakening. It's up close to those prior highs there. It's just sort of softening off a little bit here. Could come back to the weekly pivot sort of levels. Certainly the daily pivot's just not far below us. We've got a good chance of that coming back down, so it was just nearly there anyway. And it's really whether it can get past this 50 this time. If it can break the 50 and start breaking down towards the S1, well, there is a chance. But it's been so consolidated around this area. The pivots today are really, really pinched, and maybe difficult to take too much notice of them. But at the moment, from a daily perspective, it's still looks like relatively bullish there. Although we have had that warning bar from Friday there with the doji or spinning top. Okay, and finally, Aussie dollar. Already seen a bit of a sell-off this morning, making new near-term lows. It's rallying at the moment. It's pulled back into the upper band. It's got its weekly pivot above us. There is a chance if the other markets do push up, it may follow suit and run towards that weekly pivot rather. But at this juncture, it's already had a decent range this morning in terms of points wise. It's a difficult, wrong line. Let's just have a measure there. It's had a better range today than it's had on some other days recently. 60 pips there already this morning. But there is, as I say, there is a chance of continuation towards that weekly pivot and R1 area. Just going to just transfer this down a little bit further, and you can see what we've actually just done is running to that trend line that's running down there, and just finding a bit of resistance off that and the 50. So we'll see how strong that remains. But as I say, already it's made a new low. Now, if it could end up on a positive bar here, it need to close higher than Friday's highs. We would have a key reversal, and maybe then we'd push higher. But at the moment, I'm relatively bearish still on the Aussie dollar. Right, that's it for me. News-wise today, we've not got a significant amount of news. Let's just check the data here. We've got 130 wholesale sales in Canada, and that's about it, really. The rest of the data, I mean, obviously there'll be trinkets of news all the time coming through from Japan, from Greece. But nothing else on the cards there. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.